Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We see what you're up to, young and restless. You're playing off Cole's cough is but a bug. But his cold is sure to turn out to be something far worse, fatally worse. It's the old bait and switch. The show has told us over and over again that Amy is dying. But now that she's in an experimental treatment program, you watch, she's going to be miraculously cured, and it's going to be Cole that kicks the bucket. Honestly, we understood why the show brought the long-gone character back, in order to ground the newly introduced Claire in some real history rather than the retconned story of Eve's never-before-mentioned sister, crazy Aunt Jordan. We even got why the powers that be felt that they could justify pairing Victoria with her ex. After conniving Ashland and Nate the Snake, Cole would have felt familiar and safe to the beleaguered exec. She needed a dang break. Now, though, Eddie Peck's character has served his purpose. He's helped Claire over the hump of getting to know and feel a part of her newfound family. He's given Victoria a moment of calm. So it's time for her to move on to a love interest who is more dynamic. And at this point Claire needs something to shake up the status quo. With Summer no longer a factor, Allison Lanier is out. It won't be her making waves in Claire's romance with Kyle. And don't we all predict that Victor's scheme to weaponize Audra will blow up in both of their faces? Although Cole may not want to peek, given our hunch about what lies in store for him. R.I.P. Spoiler: Young and Restless is marching toward a May Sweep's funeral. The winds of change are howling through Genoa City, and with them comes a storm no umbrella can deflect. In a soap opera world where back from the dead miracles are as common as love triangles and boardroom betrayals, the month of May promises a shock that even the most seasoned viewers might not see coming, unless they've been paying very close attention. The Young and the Restless is preparing for what looks to be a stunning May Sweep's funeral, and all signs point to the end of one of the show's most complex and beloved characters. Spoilers ahead, because there's no dancing around the grave. Yes, you read that right. A funeral is on the horizon. And while soap opera funerals can often be more theatrical than tragic, who can forget Catherine Chancellor's unforgettable farewell? This one promises real consequences, a reckoning, and a ripple effect that could alter the canvas of Y&R for years to come. So, who's dying? Spoiler: the writing's on the wall. Let's talk about the most likely candidate for this high-stakes send-off, Claire Grace, also known as Eve Nicole Howard. After months of redemption arcs, family revelations, and painful flashbacks, Claire has clawed her way into the Newman family, and into viewers' conflicted hearts. But as the May Sweeps gear up to deliver major twists, the ominous foreshadowing around Claire's storyline is impossible to ignore. Since her shocking introduction as the long-lost daughter of Victoria Newman and presumed dead Cole Howard, Claire's narrative has oscillated between victim and villain. Her tormented upbringing under Aunt Jordan's twisted grip, her battle for redemption, and her desperate attempts to earn trust from a skeptical family have made her one of the most layered characters introduced in recent years. But redemption often comes with a price, and in soap terms, sometimes the price is your life. The clues have been stacking up like dominoes. From cryptic conversations about destiny and sacrifice to subtle musical cues underscoring her scenes with Victoria and Cole, it feels like the writers are slowly building toward a tragic climax. In classic Y&R fashion, the groundwork is being laid not with a sledgehammer but with a scalpel. Every scene, every choice, every look between characters has weight. And viewers know that when Y&R slows down, it's preparing to hit hard. Funeral forecast: tears, secrets, and shocks. So let's assume the unthinkable happens. Claire dies. Whether by heroic sacrifice, perhaps protecting her newfound family from the lingering threat of Aunt Jordan, or through a cruel twist of fate, the implications of her death would be massive. Victoria, still emotionally raw from years of corporate wars and romantic devastation, would be shattered. Losing Claire would mean losing not just a daughter, but the promise of healing, of rewriting a past that has haunted her for years. Cole, newly returned and still adjusting to a life that includes both regret and hope, would crumble. He's only just begun to reclaim his place in the Newman orbit, and Claire has been his bridge, his reason for trying again. And then there's Nikki Newman. Her complicated relationship with Claire, tainted by the girl's manipulation under Jordan's influence, has recently begun to thaw. If Claire dies before Nikki can fully accept her, the guilt will be another demon for Nikki to battle, right alongside her alcoholism and family pressures. But perhaps the most significant ripple would hit Victor Newman. The mustache is no stranger to loss, but the death of a grandchild, especially one who shares his blood, his fire, and, to some extent, his cunning, could ignite a new era of vengeance. Imagine Victor turning his eye toward justice, not just for Claire but for the damage done to his family. A man like Victor never lets a debt go unpaid. The funeral itself would be an emotional bonanza. Expect sweeping speeches, flashback montages, surprise guests Adam, Abby, maybe even a Heather or JT sighting, and a few bombshells dropped amid the tears. This is May Sweeps, after all, the time when soaps go big or go home. The case for Claire's death and the case against. Let's look at the evidence pointing to Claire's possible demise. Case 4. Redemption completed. Claire's redemption arc has, arguably, reached its climax. She's been forgiven, embraced, and has even shown signs of settling into a stable identity. In soap logic, that often means it's time to go, preferably in a blaze of glory. Tragic heroine potential. Her story echoes the Greek tragedies, a young woman born into lies and raised in shadows, striving toward the light, only to fall just as she reaches it. Emotional payoff. Killing Claire would devastate the canvas, pushing major characters into new emotional territories and sparking storylines that could run all summer and beyond. Acting showcase. A funeral allows for powerhouse performances. With actors like Amelia Heinel, Victoria, Melody Thomas Scott, Nikki, and Eric Braeden, Victor, the show could earn some serious Emmy attention. Case against. Too much potential left. Claire's still a fresh character. Killing her off now could be seen as a waste of long-term narrative opportunities. Fan investment. Viewers have been slowly falling in love with Claire. Ending her story just as she becomes a fan favorite risks backlash. Soap resurrection clause. This is Young and the Restless. Death isn't always final. Even if Claire dies, there's always a chance of a miraculous survival, a faked death, or a twin reveal. Never say never. Alternative candidates. Who else might die? Of course, there's a possibility that the funeral isn't for Claire at all. Some fans speculate the target could be Jordan, finally meeting her end after terrorizing the Newman clan. A funeral for a villain still packs drama, especially if someone like Nikki feels responsible for the death. Others believe it might be Audra Charles, caught in a dangerous game between Tucker, Nate, and the ever-unpredictable corporate chessboard. Or Chance Chancellor, especially if his romance with Sharon heats up too fast, often a warning sign in soap world. But none of these deaths would carry the same narrative weight as Claire's. She's the emotional axis right now, and Y&R loves to pull the rug from under us when we're finally starting to hope. What it means for the future of Y&R. If Claire dies, the Young and the Restless enters a bold new era, one where the sins of the past are never fully erased and where even redemption cannot save a character from fate. It would signal a creative confidence, a willingness to devastate in order to evolve. Characters would be reshaped, the Newmans would be rattled, and Genoa City would carry the echo of a young woman whose life was short, complicated, and unforgettable. And viewers, we'd cry, we'd rage, we'd tweet with all caps, and we'd tune in the next day. Because that's the genius of Young and the Restless. Even in death, it gives us something to live for. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.